Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Game Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a Let's Build video. What are Let's Build videos and what are they all about? Well, Let's Build video, I take a model kit and I'll show you how to put it together. If there's any areas of concern on the sprue from the instructions having a different number to the actual part that you need on the sprue having a different number, I'll give you guys a heads up. If there's any chains, pipes, or anything you need to be careful with taking off, I'll let you guys know. If the bit you're trying to take off the sprue has a weird pin or weird little connection, I'll let you guys know because that needs to stay on there. Mold lines, all that sort of stuff. If you suffer with dyslexia or just struggle with instructions in general, again, this is a visual way to help you out. If you're interested in a particular model for an army you have or an army you want to collect, but you're not sure how difficult the models to build, again, this is a visual way to help you out. These Let's Build videos make all the models accessible for everyone, no matter your age or skill limit. If you're new to the hobby or if you're a veteran, it's always good to have the information you need. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. So you would have seen from the thumbnail that it's time for the Dark Master himself to be built. Now, I've had this model for just over a year now, and it's about time we got done. Sorry, the camera's flicking because the white on the box is reflecting the light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this box open, go through the sprue, go through tools needed as always. Right, so, wow. I had a little flick in the instructions and it's absolutely amazing. There's a lot to do here. There are two big sprues that comes on it. We'll go through the sprue in a second. First thing we're going to do is go through tools needed as always. Mold line scraper. Now you can use a hobby knife or some sort of surgical blade. If you're using a sharp tool, just be careful because it's a sharp tool. Let anyone in the house know you're using a tool so nobody scares you by accident. Make sure there's no cats around, no little hands around. We need clippers. Most useful part of our kit. Now I do use sanding sponge. Now you can use sanding sponge or sanding block. The sponge is basically foam with sandpaper inside. Sanding sponge is very flexible. Sanding block is very rigid. You'll find it in a hardware shop somewhere between the sandpaper and the wallpaper. It could be with Eva or it could be in the middle. Now this is a plastic kit, so plastic glue. I do have super glue at hand just in case, but I shouldn't need it. Wow. So for everyone that's new, first looking at these sprues, it's like, that is, John, that is absolutely so intimidating. So many parts on here, it's like bonkers. But so for everyone that's new, what we do is we go through the sprue and ascertain what's what to make our life a little bit easier when we're building the model. So first of all, I can see a sword. There's a wing arm, there's another wing arm. I can see legs. There's one, there's two. There's Dead Chaos Warrior. Okay, some parts of it there and some parts of it there. This looks like a shoulder piece. There's his horns. There's chains and skulls. The sanding sponge will come in perfect with this because that's going to be a nightmare to try and clean down with this. Looks like a Space Marine shoulder pauldron there, half mangled to bits. This body looks like an arm. There's all manner of things on here. There's his tail. Looks like another part of tail. Looks like some more spinal tail. There's the end of his tail. Wow, that's one sprue. Here's the other sprue. So there's the other part of the... No, that's a Space Marine. That's a Space Marine 40k, sorry. Space Marine, there's background with the Space Marine bits. There's the front of the Space Marine. There's another shoulder pauldron. Another shoulder for Bellacore. Base. Wings. Some more base. Looks like the back of the body. The front of the body with the neck. There's so many bits here. Looks like his feet. Wow, there's his hands there, his fingers. I haven't gone through the instructions in great detail, but I can already see this part, and there's another one on the other sprue. So I'd imagine you is an option between two of them for some reason. I don't know, but I'll find out when I get into it. Wow. My first thoughts of this model, there's a lot of parts. It's gonna take a while, but I've had him sitting here for just over a year now. He needs to be done. He needs to be done and, you know, put into the vote and put onto the table and into the battle, and let's go for it. So I'm going to finish getting set up and come back to you with the first pieces. Right, I'm actually very pleased with this because my first thought was to look through the instructions, and if the base doesn't interfere with the model, get the base done first. The first page of the instructions is the base, so that's actually really nice and very straightforward. First piece we need is number 2, which is this piece here, located just above the wing. Number 1, which is this big massive piece here. And number 3, which is this piece here, just below the 2 hands. So I'm going to snip all 3 pieces off, clean them down, and show you how they go together. Right, so one thing I say to you, when you're doing this, dry fit it first, because it does, as you can see, just slot in nicely. Okay, just slot in. It did to me a minute ago. It does just slot in there, like so. Yeah. Now, if there's a bit of sprue there, like on this little bit, it won't sit properly. There'll be a little gap on it. Okay, so that goes into there. This piece then, number 3. Okay, there is actually a little piece there, and a little groove there. When you look at it, there is this little piece that sits in there, and this little piece that sits in that little groove. So it just sits on top of it like that. When we flip it over, you can see it's lined up. Now there seems to be a little tiny bit of a gap there. Yeah, as you can see, there's no gap that one. There's a little gap with that one. So I'm going to just give that a quick, another little bit of a sand down to make sure I've got, so I don't see any bits of sprue along there. I think that little bit's meant to be, but anyway, I'm going to give that a clean down and then glue those together and then come back to the next piece. Right, so the next 2 pieces we need are number 5, which is down in this corner here, and number 6, which is this piece here. So I'm going to snip them, clean them, and show you how they go together. Right, so this piece is very straightforward. So number 6 and number 5. Number 6, the slots on there, like so. Okay, so you end up filling that gap. You see where it joins in there, but it just gives you that rock coming out the side there. It looks absolutely fantastic. Look at that detail there. Nice big skull on the, oh, it's absolutely fantastic. So now I'm going to glue that into place and come back to the next piece. The next piece we need is number 4, which is this piece down here. So I'm going to snip this off, clean this down, and I'll show you how those 2 bits go onto the main piece. Right, so number 4 is very straightforward. It just slots in there like so. Okay, very, very straightforward. So I'm going to glue that into place, and then I'm going to come back for the next piece. Right, I'm going to have to leave that to dry for a few minutes because that's getting a bit wibbly wobbly. Basically, this piece, number 5 and 6, goes in the side here. I'll show you that when it comes to it. But for now, I'm going to take the next 2 pieces off, which is number 7, which is this piece here, and number 8, the last 2 rocky, that's all the rocky pieces taken off. So I'm going to take those 2 pieces off, clean them down, and then I'm going to try and show you how they all go together, then I'm going to glue them together, okay? Right, put some glue on this piece. This is number 5 and 6, okay? And this basically just slots in there. Just slots in there. Come on, get in there. It does slot in there. Let me go off camera and just fiddle about with it. Right, next piece is number 8. So see, that's gone on nicely. Remember when I went off camera, it like went on. So this piece slots on in there. That's it. very fiddly. This is one of those pieces where you have to put it on and leave it to dry. There it goes, like so. Goes on like that. Okay, so there's a little bit of push on it, so I'm going to go camera and do that. Now for me, it's not quite done properly, but this is the last piece, number 7, that goes in there. So I'm going to glue that into place and then try and push it all together, because I think once that piece goes in, it's all going to slot nicely. But it's one of those things where glue the first 2 pieces together, and then you have to glue this back piece and these pieces at the same time, just to give it a bit of, I know it's very difficult. Not very difficult, it's just that this hasn't got much support, this top piece. So when I get these pieces in, it should give it the support it needs to be able for me to be able to push it all together. Here we are. Now this is one of those builds where plastic glue is essential. So as that plastic glue starts to cure, I'm going to give it a gentle push together a little bit more, because at the moment it's sort of held together just by a little bit of liquid of the glue. As it's starting to cure, I'm going to just give it a little squeeze together. But this piece here overlaps that piece at the bottom, and this piece here with the 5 and 6 overlaps onto that piece as well, just here. Yeah, so it's a little bit, it doesn't say that in the instructions, you only see that halfway through. Another thing I say to you as well, I didn't even notice it when I was cleaning them until I started putting the glue on, but there is little pins and holes around the whole each piece. Okay, but I never noticed it until I started putting the glue on. And it doesn't show you that on the instructions. It doesn't show you pins and holes, it just shows you one curve edge going into another curve edge. Right, I just flick the page to go to the next part, and I've realised I haven't glued this on the base yet. There are chains that connect in here to here and go across there. So where I'm looking, I think, oh, it's wrong. That's where there's a bit of rock on each of the chains, and that's how they go on. Same with here and here. You see me? Right. So if you're playing this for AOS, you want to get the Chaos Warrior together and put him together, and he goes on the model. Yeah, and his parts are 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. Okay, let me show you where they quickly are. So the Chaos Warrior parts are on the sprue with the bodies on it, not the one we've been working from. Number 12, 12, 13. Where's number 14 now? Oh my goodness me. I can't see number 14. Must be on the other sprue. So look. 14, yep, it's there. 15 and 16. Well, there's 15, which is some lovely skulls, and 16 is a shoulder piece. There's 16, chest piece, which again is absolutely fantastic. But we don't need that. So this is 40k. I use better call on 40k. Now look, I'm going to build him 40k, but if it ever arose a point where I was using him for fantasy, there's a dead space room on his base. It doesn't matter, you know. In all honesty. Even if you want to go with the Chaos Warrior, you could turn around and say that he's landed on a planet, you're playing 40k, but he's landed on a planet where there's medieval type warriors and he's slain their champion. That type of thing. Anyway, so for the Space Marine, we need 18, which is the body, 17, which is the front of the body here. We need 19, which is his bot pistol, and we need 20, which is his shoulder pauldron, and I believe it's on the other sprue. I believe I saw it on the other sprue first. Yeah, with the claws in it. Okay, so I'm going to snip those pieces off, clean them down, and then come back and show you how they all go together. Right, so 18, 17 and 18, chest piece just slots over the top there, like so. Now that is absolutely fantastic anyway. All that just disintegrating the marine to bits is absolutely fantastic. I love this detail as well, the shoulder pauldron part of it missing, swords broken to bits. That's absolutely fantastic. So now the bolt gun, yeah, there's a Space Marine helmet on it, yeah, and there is a funny little piece in there, two little nubble bits, and that's supposed to go just around here. It's supposed to go that way. It's supposed to go no, it doesn't go on there because that's what the two. Where's this going? Is it up there? No, it can't be up there because that's. I know it does. Yeah, it goes over here. So there's two little knobble bits in there, the back here. There's a little knobble bit there. See it? That just goes. Don't know if it's meant to be that way, pointing outwards. Because the instructions, the finished bit I'm looking at is just the Chaos Warrior, so it's not actually showing me. But it's supposed to go on there, but you can't block this or this up because there's a little bit that goes over the top there. So I'm gonna glue that. I mean, it's gonna sit on the base anyway. It's gonna be sitting on the base. It's not really gonna. The head and the gun are not going to be hanging over the base. So I'm going to glue that onto there. This shoulder pauldron, this is a weird one as well. It's meant to go up here, top of the step. There's a funny little groove there. I think that's the piece, because there's a funny little groove there, like knocking the camera on. Well done. And I think that's meant to go. On. So to stop filming there because the dog came out, the puppy, and loves chasing the cattle. But the marine goes on there. So there's a skull there, and there's a little nook here. There's a little nook in his foot as well. So that just sits on like that. It literally just sits on the skull, the back of his. It's actually his shoulder pauldron. Well, I was just admiring that. That bit, it goes on, just goes in there, look. Okay, so I'm going to glue those three pieces on. So that's going to go this side, this is going to go up on the little nook up here, and he's going to glue there. The only thing I'm not happy with so far, this is a bit bouncy, which means it's not perfectly level flat, which is probably something I've done. But when I glue it down, it's not going to matter. Anyway, right, so that's all dried, looking nice. The few little bits I'm not too pleased with. Like it's not perfectly on there. It's not perfectly on that side, but you're not going to see it when it's stuck down. It's absolutely fantastic. So what the piece we need now? Let's start off with number 11, which is this crazy piece. I'm going to snip clean, and I'll show you how it goes on. Right, so I've dry fitted this, and what I was going to say is this end has a slight angled edge. This is a flat edge. Now, going back to what I said just a minute ago, I am slightly off. It goes in here and goes in here. This side is meant to go in there, and that's the angled edge goes in there. But I'm slightly off, just slightly off this side. Don't be breaking things, but that stays pretty much solid on. I don't know why. I don't know, but it's not going to matter anyway, because I'll tell you why. when it's on the base, okay, let's say I glue it on, and I glue it on so that this side's in, but this side's slightly off, yeah? I can actually probably glue it straight to the base, to be honest with you, and then just put gravel into that little gap. But I'm going to check ahead on the instructions and see if I can, if gluing this to the base interferes with anything else. If it doesn't, then I'll do the chains on here first, which I think might be slightly off as well now, I don't know. But I'll do the chains and then I'll just glue this to the base and glue him to the base, but let me check that first. Okay, so we'll sort that out in a minute because nothing interferes with him. So we'll do the chains first. So the first one we need is number 9, which is this one here. Absolutely some crazy stuff. Now I definitely need these because there's rocks on either end. So I'm going to snip it off carefully, sand and sponge it down because it's very, very delicate and it could break quite easy. And then I'll come back and show you how it goes on. No, that's actually spot on. So that goes in there like so, yeah. So you see the rock goes on that side, and there's a little V shape just in there where this V shape sits into. So I'm going to glue them into place and then come back to you for the next one. Next one we need is number 10. Now these are easy to see because they have rocks on the end. The one we just took was here, and number 10's there. So I'm going to snip it, clean it, and I'll show you how it goes on. Right, so this chain has a slight curve on it. Okay, so the skulls need to be facing outwards. That just slots in there. Like so. So I'm going to glue that into place and I'll come back here and put the next piece. Right, so I was slightly off with that one, as I said. So I've glued it in there as best I can, and then I've glued to the base. So all I do is put a bit of gravel into that little gap there, and just, even though I have to push some gravel up in just in between, I don't think there's any gap showing for that side, but you know, put some gravel in between, just, you know, it'll hide whatever mistake I've made there. It was only slightly off. These things happen, especially when you have models of this sort of scale and this sort of size. So I'm going to get the next pieces ready. Right, damn, made this easy. The next one I need is number 21, which is this one here. Let's just put the wings. And number 22, which is this body part here, with the chains on it and all that. Okay, I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and I'll come back to you and show you how they go together. Right, so this one, there's 2 holes there on either side. There's 2 pins at the bottom here. They just go in there like so. And it goes on like that. Like, that's how simple that goes on. That's actually shocked me because I thought it was going to be, gluing this little bit together there and just holding it on, and then trying to glue this flimsy bit on, and eventually as you glue it together it becomes stronger. But no, that's actually brilliant. So I'm going to glue that into place and come back for the next piece. Right, so everything I think for now is on the sprue that doesn't have the big wings on it. So I need 24, which is one down the corner here. I'm going to snip it, clean it, I'll show you how it goes on. Exactly what I was just talking about. So this piece, there's nothing to pin it into, yeah? There is, oh actually, no there is, sorry, I'm lying. There's 2 little pins there, and I've just realised there's a little nip there, and a little nip that side. They just slot, it just slots it into there. The best way to line it up is to line it up like that. So you can see where the spines are going to go. Okay, so I'm going to glue that into place. I'm going to have to hold it for a few minutes, and then I'll come back to you for the next piece. Right, so the next part, they actually held pretty well. I didn't actually really hold it that much, so it's actually pretty well. Excuse me. The next part we need, there's 3 spinal bits that go across his tail. But what it's telling me is to put the bottom piece in first. Okay, so I'd imagine that the next one over then overlaps where the bottom piece finishes. So the first piece we need is number 52, which is the bottom of his tail with a lovely big spike on it. I'm going to snip it, clean it, and I'll show you how it goes on. This is actually very straightforward. It just slots in like so. Okay. It's absolutely that's actually very easy. So I'm going to glue that in, and then I'll come back to you for the next one. Right, so the next one we need is number 53. It's right next to his little dagger. I'm going to snip that off, clean that down, I'll show you how that goes on. Right, again, won't knock in the camera, it's very straightforward. You have that end at the top, which has a slight little like sort of V shape in it. That goes at the top there. It literally just sits in there like so. Now, there is a little join line there where the two pieces join. Just dribble a bit of glue into that. Dribble a bit along the line there. That's actually looking fantastic. Now on to the next piece. Right, so the last piece for his spine is 54, which is this one here. It's actually located by both of his legs. Okay, so I'm going to snip it, clean it, and then I'll show you how it goes on. Again, this piece is very easy. The smaller piece at the top just slots it in like so. Now already that looks absolutely amazing. So I'm going to leave it to dry for a minute and then come back to one of the next pieces. Right, so the next piece we need, again, it's one of these ones where they're both sprues. We need 33, which is this piece here. Got a vein on that, it's absolutely amazing. It's just below one of the wings, next to the chest piece. And we need 34, which is this leg here. Okay, so I'm going to snip and clean them. I'll show you how they go together. Right, so there's holes in this piece, this is number 34, and there's pins in number 33. As you went to start to glue it, I realised I hadn't filmed it. That just slots in there, like so. Now see, I'm nervous for this part now, because I can see and you can see how the leg goes on, yeah? But I'm nervous for point of connection. That's the first thing I'm nervous about. Second thing I'm nervous about, this little slot here goes on the base. There's two slots on the base for him to stand into. Now, if I'm slightly off with this, either putting it onto here or putting it when it comes to put it onto the base, it doesn't matter because I can snip it down and glue his foot straight on. It's not an issue. The next ones we need are number 35, number 36. We just took that one. So it's these two toes we need. So I'm going to snip them off, clean them down. Number 35 goes this side. Number 36 goes that side. Okay. Well, it's very self-explanatory. There's a square peg. There's a square peg on both sides. There's a square hole. And that will just slot into there. Like so. It only goes in one way. So I'm going to glue the other piece on, and then that's this leg done then. And we'll start working on the next leg. And so the first two pieces we need are number 26, which is this leg. And then again, back to the wing sprue, we need number 25, which is this one. Just south of that, so we need those two. A snip, clean, and they go on exactly the same way the first two pieces on this leg, so I'm going to glue them together. Right, so next thing we need for him, these two toes, 27 and 28. Again, they're self-explanatory. Square peg, square hole. You can't go wrong with them. So I'm going to glue them on, and then we'll come back for the next piece. Right, so the next piece we need is number 29, which is this little piece here. So this piece here. Oh, it's the wrong thing. This little piece. Yeah, there's two little grooves in the top of it there. Okay, on top, they need to stay. Okay, so I'm going to snip it, clean it, and I'll show you how it goes on. Right, so on the leg here, there's a little groove coming up. There's one on the other side as well. That's why you keep those two bits on the top. So that just literally slides in there. Not too much. Slides in there like that. Okay. So I'm going to glue that into place. Right, for the next piece. Right, the next piece we need, so I'm not looking forward to now, is number 31 and 32, which are these two pieces. Okay. and we need number 30. Now 31 is going to go on this side, 32 is going to go that side. So I'm going to snip those 3 pieces off and I'm going to show you how they go together. Right, so here's how number 32 goes in. Okay, I'll turn it around so you have the spike. The spike's coming out and it goes in like this. See the little that backwards L shape? That's what it is. So I'll push it so I can see it. Yeah, just goes in there like that, and then the other one goes in, so fiddly to mess around with. One spike is bigger than the other, so the big one goes in the top there. Then we have a spiked knee pad, so I'm going to just drop a bit of glue on there, glue those in, and I'll come back and show you how this goes on. Right, so the knee pad goes straight over the top of that hole. It's in the leg. There is actually, you see that? The L shape where it's meant to go on, where the spikes are slot into the inside of the spikes, I say. Come on. Of course you'd give me difficulty, of course. There we go. So that's on now. Mate, that looks fantastic. Especially those legs as well. Those little, oh, it's fantastic. Right, so as you guessed it, the bit I'm not looking forward to, this leg glues straight into there. Oh, that looks like a perfect fit actually. That's pretty good. And this one, so if this is the same, it is, goes in perfect fit. Yeah, it's actually perfect fit. So I'm going to glue those two into place, and hopefully, because it's a perfect fit, hopefully it lines up when it comes to the base. Right, so now we're at the point where you got to decide what arm he wants. His left arm, there's 2 different choices. Hence, there's 2 different body parts to go with it. So one of them is number 23, which is this one here. Now I understand that the markings on the chest are the same, but it's a different connection here. So the arm goes on slightly differently. That's why it's 2 different connection parts. So there's that body, and the other body is number 48, which is this one here. So it's exactly the same. Try and get side by side. Yeah, exactly the same, which is different body parts. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the instructions so you see what I'm saying. So you can have the arm like that, or you can have it like that. Now, I don't know, because both of them have spikes on it anyway. That's hasn't got spikes on it, but there is spikes coming on that one. So I'm actually going to go with the top one. So I need body number 23. If you're going with the other one, you need body 48. But body number 23 is what I want, which is one next to the wing. Right, so there's holes in that, and the body has pins just inside there. So this should slot in quite nicely, like so, and it does. Absolutely amazing. There's a little lip on top there that has to stay. It's part of it. That is actually fantastic. I really like that. And he's sort of freestanding as well, so that's nice. Now, don't panic. From when I put the legs on till now, there's been an hour or 2. So I literally went away and left it to dry. It's been an hour or so. Let's have a look how it's this on there actually. Is it meant to go on that way? Yeah, his legs not on properly. No, his legs are on properly, but doesn't seem to want to slot into his place. That's not very good. It's sort of lined up. It looks like I need to give it a little tap and a little wiggle, but that's good. That's okay, because that's all imperfect. Right. So the next thing we need is Let's go with his hand first. We need 42 and 43. 42 is here, right next to the piece we just took. And 43 is a hand with fingers on it. There. Okay, so that's the one we need. We point this finger, 43 and 42. So I'm going to snip them and clean them, and I'll show you how they go together. Right, so this just slots straight into there, like so. Nice and easy. That's actually just absolutely fantastic. Right, so the next piece we need for that, these pieces seem to be all over the place. I'm going to find the piece I need first. Well, so back to the wing sprue again. So we need number 45, which is this little piece up here, number 46 and 47. So we took these two bits off for the spikes on his knee. These are the other two bits that we need. So I'm going to snip those three pieces off. And what it's showing me is 46 is going this side, 47 is going that side. But obviously this number 45 gets turned around. Okay, so I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, set those up, and then we'll come back and have a look at them. Right, so this is 46. So I'll go in so very quickly. The big spike. Come on. There we go, like that. And then the other one goes in the other side. I might go straight away actually. Yep. So it looks like that. I'm going to drop a little bit of glue on there, and then I'm going to come back and show you how it goes on the arm. Right, so on the arm, there are two little, I can throw it everywhere, two little strips. And they are the two strips that are on the back of the spikes. So it literally just sits on his arm like so. There we go. Now the only thing we need is his fingers. Number 44 for this guy. The other hand has this one. So I'm going to snip those off carefully, give them a sand down with a sanding sponge because they're too small to come with a hobby knife. And I'll show you how they go on. Now this is a very small part. Do not drop it. But I put some glue on the hand there. And it just slots in. Come on. Nope. Like so. No, that's not right. I've got it the wrong way around, I think. There it goes. Something like that. It's a very small piece and it's a very fiddly piece, but it's on. Doesn't look right to me. Now it looks right. So that's that arm done. It's telling me to glue it onto it now, so I'm going to give it a few minutes and then come back and try and glue it on. Right, so it is the same as the legs, straight into place. No messing around, straight on. Absolutely, such a fantastic sculpt. I really enjoyed the sculpt so far. Building it, I thought was going to be very. When I looked at the sprue, I was like, oh my goodness me. But putting it together, actually very simple so far. The only thing for me that I'm a little bit worried about is putting them on here. But it's not an issue because, like I said, If it doesn't go in, I'll snip those little rectangular bits off and just glue his foot straight on there. If I have to put a bit of PVA glue or a bit of green stuff in there, I will, but that's not a big issue. For me, so far, the hardest thing to get right was this. Now, I think I know what I did wrong with this. All the parts are correct, and everything I've shown you is correct. What I think I did, when I took the piece off the sprue, I don't think I've got every single, I think there's a little bit of sprue still on the piece I need. And where I cleaned it off, I missed it. So when it's going together, instead of being perfect, it's sort of just slightly off because that little knob was sticking out. But, you know, it's fine. It looks great. It'll be absolutely amazing when it's finished. Now, some people are going to say to me, paint this first and then paint him and put him on there. I don't want to do that. Because I don't want to spend hours painting something that when he goes on, you can't see it. At the same time I'm saying it, there could be bits that I paint, again, that I don't need to paint because he's going to cover that up. So I'd rather just put them together. But I tell you what, this is absolutely, even the base is so impressive. So impressive. I'm not going to paint the Space Marine in my chapter colours this time. I'm going to experiment with a colour that I would want to use for my Space Wolves. Just to give me, because if it looks great, it's great. If it doesn't, then, well, I don't know, should I? I probably will. Anyway, on to the next one. Right, so the 2 parts needed. Number 37, which is here, and number 38, which is his little dagger. Just be careful when you're snipping this off, guys, because it is absolutely amazing. Let's take a moment to look at that. That is absolutely fantastic. Even the scales on the arm, the spikes on the arm, the veins on the hand. Wow. Anyway, I'm going to snip those off, clean those down, and I'll show you how they go together. So this is another easy part. Number 37. There's a pin. There's a pin on that. And there's a hole. That just slides straight in there, like so. Looking absolutely fantastic. There's one dirty mould line there that I've missed along the hand. I might be able to get that. Yeah, I'm going to clean that mould line off and then I'm going to come back to you for the next part. Right, so again, the next part is number 39, which is this little bit, okay, which is by these little tiny wings. And then we need number 41 and number 40, which is the last 2 spikes. Okay, I'm going to snip them all off, clean them down, I'll show you how they go on. Right, so this is the first one. This is number 40 and in the back. So it's just, we need one up there and one in there. There we go. I'm going to have to clean that down a bit more because there's a little bit of sprue on there. Damn it. It's a pain in the ass. And the other one goes in those 2. Okay, so I'm going to clean that off. Put the other one, put them back in, put a bit of glue on there, and I'll show you how it goes on the arm. Pretty much the same as the other 2. So there's a big rectangle and a small rectangle. There's a big rectangle and a small rectangle. It just slots. It will slot on. Watch why I'm going to have camera now and they go on straight away. And at the moment I'm off camera, in it goes, no problems. Now the arm again just slots in one way. So I'm going to glue that into place and then we'll come back for the next piece. Right, so the next bit, you've got a choice of 3 heads. So you've got this one here, which is 56. Spin around so you can see. Yeah, which is a nice head. This one here, but I don't know if you like that one or not. I think you are, because there's 3 head options there. So that one's with the closed mouth of the teeth. That's with an open mouth. And then you've got number 58, which is another open mouth one down here. Then you've got a choice of 57, which is a little tongue sticking out. Or you've got a choice of, where's that one? There it is. 59, which is this piece here. It's a big tongue sticking out. I'm going to go with the big tongue sticking out because I want to make tongue very vibrant and horrible looking. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with 56 and 59. Okay, I'm going to snip them, clean them, show you how they go together. So I've already waxed into place and glued it because it's very fiddly. Basically, the tongue goes through there. Okay, and then it just sits there, like so. Okay, so when we flip it around, we have this lovely little tongue sticking out of the head. So the next piece we need is number 55, which is the horns. Where are they? There they are. So I'm going to snip those off, clean those down. I'll show you how those two bits go together. That's another easy part. So I'll wax some glue on top there. So he has a little square on his head there. Okay, that just slots in there like so. Okay, just you will slot in and stay there. Maybe there's a little bit too much glue. If you mess up, put too much glue on, this is how you get rid of it. Don't rub it because you'll end up smearing everywhere. Bit of paper, kitchen towel, just dab it into it and it'll suck it up. Right, so the next thing we do with this guy is put it on. Now in the middle there is a square hole, sorry, on Mr. Bellicor himself. That's what that square pin is for the top there. So it sits on top like so. So I'm going to glue that into place and then come back to you for the next piece. So I went for a dry fit. This next part is put into place and I'm slightly off. That's because I probably missed, like I said, I missed probably a little bit when it can, a little bit of sprue that was probably still on there just didn't allow it to connect properly. So I've snipped one of the feet off, one of the bars off the bottom of the feet. So the back one can go in, and the front one he will go in. So he's going to blow it. Now I've got a little tiny gap between the toes there, which I'm going to have to put something on. So I'm going to have to probably put some a little bit of PVA glue or something in there. It's not the end of the world. I could even take a bit of old sprue and trim it down and just slide it in there. It's not a big issue. I'm going to leave that to dry for a minute and then come back to you for the next pieces. Right, so the next piece we need is number 61, which is this lovely, amazing, massive piece. I'm going to snip it, clean it, and then I'll get the next piece and show you that. Right, so the next piece we need is number 62, which is this big wing this side. Absolutely so much detail on that, it's just crazy. That's going to be brilliant for dry brushing as well. Anyway, I'm going to snip it, clean it, and I'll show you how it goes together. Right, so I've cleaned and put some glue on there, along that shiny bit there. And that literally just slots in there like so. Okay, got some absolutely amazing wing now. It's absolutely amazing. I hope it connects on the back. Hopefully it does, because there's a little triangle bit there, and there's two little triangle bits on his back. So that's that wing. Not done yet. Damn it, there's more to come. Right, so the next piece that we need, this is the bit I'm not looking forward to. We need number 63, which is this piece in the corner here, this little claw. I'm going to snip it and clean it, and then I'll show you where it goes. Right, so there's a square peg this side, just underneath that hook. There's another one that side. So this is 63. There's a square pin that just goes does go in there. It's really one of those annoying things where I have to mess around with it. Yeah, that's how it's meant to go. So I'm going to go find the next piece now. Right, the other one is, next one is 64. Again, there's a little square pin on that, and that goes in that square hole there. So I'm going to snip it, clean it, and glue it into place. Right, we need number 65 now, which is this one here. So we just took that one, we need this one now. Now this isn't a pin job. There is a flat side. I'll show you exactly where it is. It goes in here. So it just literally just sits and connects onto there. So I'm going to snip it, clean it, and the spike has to come at the back here, so it matches up with the rest of the spikes. Now snip it, clean it, glue it into place. I have to show you this because they're all the same. After for now, there is actually a little tiny pinhole in there, and there's actually a little tiny pin on the back of it, but that just slots. Of course it is so small and tiny. Of course I dropped it or something. I mean, yeah, idiot. It just slots on there like that. Yeah. So the next one that's needed is number 66, which is next to the Chaos Space Marine body part, the Chaos Warrior body part. So I'm going to snip that off, and that goes on the same way, but goes the next one along. So this one I just put on goes in here. So I'm going to snip it, clean it, glue it. The next one is 67, which is right down here. So we just took this one. The next one is just here. I'm going to snip it, clean it, glue it on because it goes into the next one along. Right, so the last one for this wing is number 68, which is next to the Chaos Warrior with the sword in his hand. Up in his corner, I'm going to snip that, clean that, and it goes on the last little run. Right, so that's that wing done. So now on to the next wing. We need number 74, which is the other one of these, and number 75, which is the other wing. I'm going to snip and clean them and glue them together, same way that one goes together. Right, so for the first one of these claws, we need 76, which is up in this corner here. It's on the opposite corner to the Chaos Warrior body. Again, this is a square one, so I'm going to snip it, clean it, and I'll show you how it goes on. So this one goes on the outside, this wing. Again, it's a square connection. Okay, so the next one we need is number 77, which is another square connection. So I would look for this guy. There he is. So he's on, there's the Chaos body. He's already down the other end of that sprue. So I'm going to snip that off, clean it off. That goes in that other square there. Right, next one we need is 78. Okay, which is just below the leg and the body. Now this is not the square one, this is the one that goes, just clips on the end. Okay, in the first run, which is just there. So I'm going to snip it, clean it, glue it on. So the next one, next horn is 79. Okay, which you can see is just there. I'm going to snip it, clean it, glue it on. Right, the next one is 80. You can see what that is on the sprue. And the last horn to go on his wing is number 81, which you can see is just there. Now, we'll go back to the first wing now we did. And it's time for the chains. I'm not too overly happy with the chains going on. I'll tell you why, two reasons why. The first one is because I know clumsy hands and you pick the model up and you snap, the chain snaps. It's like, shit. Second thing is, when it comes to painting and dry brushing, the chain's for me going to be in the way. But you know, again, if I don't do it, I'm going to be left with these horrible little nooks all throughout the wings. So I think I should just do it and get done with. So the first one we need, this is the first wing now. The first one we need is number 69, which is this one here, which is just below the body. So we've taken the claws from all around here, so that's that one. I'm going to snip it, clean it carefully, sanding sponge, and I'll show you how it goes on. Okay, so there's a little nook just in there, and there's a little nook there. So this just slots in let's get that one on first. Slots in like that. You see where that chain's going in, just slots in there like so. Make sure I've got that in there fully. There's the first one. So the next one we need is number 71. This is where all the fun starts. Number 71. Where are you? There you are. So there's number 71. Look at that bad boy. And it's just below that guy there. This is going to be a difficult one to clean. I'm going to snip it and I'll show you how to clean it and show you how it goes on. So here's how this one goes in. I've not glued it yet, but it goes, there's a little piece goes there, that piece goes there, and that piece goes in there. Okay, so I'll show you where those little nooks are. See, one, second one's there, third one's there. So I'm going to glue that into place. Now the next one that goes in there, you've got an option. You've got a 72, which is this one here, which is the fantasy one by the looks of it. And then you've got 71, which is, sorry, 73, which is this one here. Now this is the 40k one, because you can tell by the servo skull, or the Space Marine helmet with the bionic eye. And then there's that screen that goes on the back of the Space Marines. So I'm going with this one. I'm going to snip it, clean it, I'll show you how it goes on. Right, so this one, I know I've missed one. I have missed one, damn it. Okay, so this one goes on the outside anyway. Hooks on there. And hooks on there. Okay, I have actually missed one, which is number 70. So many chains. There's number 70 there. So it's on the same side as Mr. Man, but the opposite corner. I'm going to snip it, clean it. I'll show you how this one goes on. Right, so this one, excuse my over enthusiasm to get this guy done, just comes in here like so. Connects on there, connects there. That looks absolutely, I love that. Even though at first I was like, I'm very hesitant with the chains and everything else, I just think that looks, wow. I can see why so many people go mad for this model, because it is absolutely, you know, when I first ever saw it, I was like, oh yeah, it's great sculpt, yeah. But I didn't realise that it was that good. You'll notice I turn this upside down, because I find it easier to do it that way. So the first piece we need for this one, I'll start with the big boy, number 82, which is this big one up here, which is opposite Mr. Man. I'm going to snip it, clean it, I'll show you how it goes on. Right, so this first piece, number 82, it slots in there, there, and this piece slots in there. So that's that one. Next one we need is number 83, which is this one here. I'm going to snip clean, show you how it goes on. Right, so this one, number 83, it clips in there, okay, and then there is a little, you can't see it on the camera, sorry, but it just goes in there, like so. That's what you want to do. That's what I've been doing. Take my hobby knife, just make sure it's pushed nicely. The last one we need for this, well, not the last one, but the last one of this nice little set is number 84, which is this piece here. Yeah, again, it's opposite the leg of the Chaos Warrior. And this one slots in here. This doesn't go the way, does it? No, the chain needs to be hanging down. Sorry, I put it on the wrong way. It goes that way around. There we go. Absolutely lovely. I just noticed there's a little nibble on the top there that I missed. I can get the rest of that if there's any more left of it afterwards. Now, the next piece for this wing, this is the last piece for this wing, is number 86, which is this one up here, or number 85, which is this one down here. Now, I believe this one is for fantasy, okay, and I believe this one is for 40k. I don't know what gate gives me that idea. So I'm going to take number 86 off and show you how it goes on. Right, and this one then just slots in the last two nooks. Goes in really nicely, really snug. Again, it's going to come with my mold line scraper and just make sure that it's in as tight as can be. That's the second wing done. Must say though, guys, they are something special, huh? Absolutely, wow. Right, so now for the moment of truth. The wings are going on. So this is the connection point, yeah? And this one goes in the back there. So there's the connection point. So it should just slot on. Oh, and it does. It does. It might need a little bit of a jiggle, but it does. So I'm going to glue that one on. This one goes on the other side there. So I'm going to glue that in as well. And I'm going to come back to you then for final thoughts and pretty pictures. Wow. Guys, this is one of those, another one of those models that you look at on the computer screen, or you look at, you know, in the shop and go, oh, it looks great. But until you actually have it in your hands, it's absolutely amazing. I can see why so many people are going crazy for this guy. This sculpt is probably one of the best sculpts I've ever seen. You know, and there's a lot of sculpts that I've seen. Everything from a giant with an anchor and chain for a weapon with and the other arm has a shield, but the shield is actually the ship. You know, crazy things like that, to Angron, to Silent King, to, you know, a lot of the newer stuff. This is amazing. This is one of my favorite models. Wow. The only thing I'm going to say about this, I'd give this guy a difficult rating of maybe a 7. It could possibly be an 8, but I'd say a 7. The reason why is there's a lot of parts on it, first of all, and especially with the base, you have to make sure there's no nibbly little bits of sprue when you're cleaning it down. So let's take out a bit of sprue and show you what I mean. So instead of having like that little bit there, I think that's why I went wrong. I think there's a little nibbly bit somewhere on that base that just pushed it out slightly. But you know, that's not a big issue, because I said it looks. I'm blown away by him. There's a few mold lines that I've missed, and on the head, on the his horns, looks like a little bit of flashing. Now, for those who don't know what flashing is, when they used to put the mould together before, there'd be like a little flappy bit of lead or a flappy bit of plastic. That's what it looks like. But again, when it's all fully dried, sanding sponge, come in and just carefully get rid of those bits. Wow. Difficult. I give it a difficult rating 7, you know, just because of that. But apart from that, absolutely fantastic. Now, I will tell you, I did plastic glue one wing, and I was there for ages. And I said, you know, once that takes, I'm not going to plastic glue the other one. I'm going to go straight with super glue for the other one. I come with super glue, and it's straight away connected. So, in terms of the legs and the arms and the wings, if you want to use super glue for that, work away, because it does all fit in perfectly. You haven't got to try and maneuver anything, or it all fits in the same way, the correct way it should. Which when I first started putting it together, I was a little bit like, oh no, maybe it needs a pin in the middle to connect all the bits into. No, this is absolutely mind-blowing. This model is absolutely mind-blowing. I'm already looking at it, and just the colours are coming in my head. What crazy ass colours I'm going to do on this guy. Wow. Anyway, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because it costs you absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smashes this video up a thumbs up, because it was shared. YouTube share this video with more and more people, which makes this amazing community of you guys grow even more. I'm actually blown away by this. When I bring you down and show you pretty pictures, you're going to be like, wow, it is absolutely an amazing sculpt. I'm trying my hardest here to not to swear. Absolutely, it's the dog's nuts. Anyway, guys, I'll bring you down and show you some pretty pictures. Any comments or thoughts on anything about this model, chuck them below as always. Thank you for watching, guys. Until next time, take it easy.